President Biden will swing through Georgia today to mark his 100th day in office. He'll start by visiting former President Jimmy Carter and First Lady Rosalind. It's a key state, one that President Biden and two newly elected Democratic senators flipped from red to blue, giving Democrats control of both the White House and Congress. In response to those wins, the Georgia state legislature passed a sweeping voting rights law, claiming the changes will make elections more secure. It puts limits on absentee voting and gives more flexibility to counties to choose when polls open and close. But voting rights activists worry the changes could lead to voter suppression. Some have called for boycotts of high-profile Georgia-based companies. And already Major League Baseball has pulled this year's All-Star game from the state. Those moves are starting to affect workers there. NBC News Now correspondent Priscilla Thompson joins us from Atlanta. So, Priscilla, is the state already seeing any layoffs because of boycotts? What could be the impact?
Well, not quite, Joe. What we are seeing is that Major League Baseball pulled their All-Star game out of the state that was expected to be held this summer. We also know that Will Smith pulled his latest film out of the state, so production on that film is not going to be happening here. And while those moves didn't necessarily lead to layoffs, it does mean that new jobs that were going to be created in Georgia are now not going to be here. And that's still a big deal because there are tons of hospitality workers and other folks who were laid off as a result of this pandemic and are still not back at work and could have benefited from some of those opportunities. I had an opportunity to speak to one of those folks, Tim Behove, about all of this and what a larger boycott could mean in the state of Georgia. Take a listen to what she shared with me.
We get our work from businesses coming to Georgia. The events that come, that's when we work. So, of course, if events boycott and decide not to come here, we don't get to work. And we're ready to go back to work. We need to work. Boycotting is not what's going to get us to where we need to get to. We understand we need to get out and vote. We need to get those people in power who are going to help the working people.
So Timby is out knocking doors, talking to folks about that restrictive voting law and encouraging them to do just that, vote. Joe?
Priscilla, folks you're talking to, do they think Georgia could be a harbinger for other states looking to pass similar election laws?
That's right. That's exactly what a number of folks I spoke to have mentioned, because while Georgia was the first state to pass these new, more restrictive voting laws since the election, it is not the only state looking at things like this. We're seeing similar measures in state legislatures in places like Texas, Ohio, and Arizona, among other places. And I was speaking with one business owner here, and she actually brought that up. Take a listen to what she said.
Everyone's eyes is on Georgia because the other states ought to follow. We got Florida. I think we have another couple of some other Midwestern states. Texas is one of them as well that is looking to do the same thing, or if they've not already done it.
And so it's kind of like Georgia maybe needs to be the example.
We definitely need to be the example.
And I pressed her on whether making an example out of Georgia is worth it if that means that her bottom line takes a hit. And she told me that she's on the fence about that. Joe?
And Priscilla, as we mentioned, the president is visiting Georgia today. What is on his agenda?
Right. He is commemorating his 100th day in office by coming to the state that sent a Democrat to the White House for the first time in nearly 2 decades when the state elected Joe Biden. And so he's going to start his trip here in Plains, Georgia, visiting fellow Democrat and former President Jimmy Carter. He is then going to be going to Gwinnett County, one of those diversifying counties in the suburbs of Atlanta that helped Joe Biden to secure that win. He's going to be hosting a drive-in car rally there, talking about his achievements in the past 100 days, likely to mention, of course, that $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill, among other things. Joe, Savannah?
Georgia, clearly very much a battleground state right now. Priscilla Thompson, thanks so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.